If Very Dark Man says all military are corrupt, it's as good as saying all lawyers are corrupt. Military representatives caution VDM at NBA conference. Okay now. They invited VDM for NBA's conference. Nigerian Bar Association, they invited VDM, that is not a lawyer, to their conference. This is wrong. Military representative at the 66th Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, have pushed back against sweeping allegations of corruption attributed to social media activist Martins Vincent Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man, insisting that serious accusation against the armed forces must be supported with evidence. The confrontation occurred on Tuesday during the conference day 5 plenary session titled Non-Gunmen, which brought together lawyers, security officials, advocates, and other stakeholders to discuss insecurity and the legal and institutional weaknesses fueling violence across Nigeria. Responding to remarks made by Very Dark Man during the session, a female military representative told the gatherings that an assembly described as the largest gathering of lawyers in Africa could not allow serious allegations against an entire institution to go unchallenged where no evidence has been presented. The record is very straight, because this is a gathering of the largest number of lawyers in the whole of Africa, and we cannot sit down here and make some sweeping statements that are without any proof, without any evidence, she said. As the reaction arose from the audience, the officer requested silence before proceeding with her response. I want to put it on record. I want it to be on record that, please, can I have silence, please? She said. She then directly challenged what she understood to be Very Dark Man's characterization of the military. If Very Dark Man will sit here and say that all military are corrupt, it's as good as saying that all lawyers are corrupt. Well, lawyers are corrupt, she said. The military representative repeated the comparison, arguing that indicting an entire institution on the basis of alleged misconduct by some members amounted to an unjustifiable generalization. So let that be clear, and let it be established that if we say that all military are corrupt, then all lawyers are corrupt, she stated. She went on to defend the role of the armed forces in maintaining Nigeria's security, saying military personnel continue to make significant sacrifices alongside other security stakeholders to preserve stability across the country. Well, our military people are actually trying. It's just that sometimes they have to be the last order. I think that is the problem. Most of the time, these people want to, fight back, do what they are meant to do. But when the government says, oh, don't do this, don't shoot at bandits, don't buy them, what are they supposed to do? They're only obeying orders. So, I don't know. I'm not saying that they might not be corrupt, but they're also trying. A lot of military officers lost their lives in the fights with Boko Haram and everything. So, you can't just put all of them together. Some of them are actually really fighting. Most of them might be corrupt, but some of them are actually fighting this banditry stuff and everything. And some have lost their life in the process. So you can't just come and say all of them are corrupt like that. She preserved the military as a critical institution supporting the safety and stability necessary for national life, including the ability of lawyers to gather peacefully for the NBA's conference. I also want to put it on record firmly that the only institution in this country that is holding this country, the only institution that is giving us the safety, the sanity we need in support with other stakeholders is the military, she said. According to our Nigerian military personnel, we are losing their lives exactly daily in operations aimed at protecting citizens and maintaining peace. That's facts. That's in that statement of facts. They are losing their lives daily. These people are trying. You can't just dismiss their effort like that. I want to put it also on record that military men daily, every day, they are trying to make sure that we have peace that we are having to even hold this conference, she added. She therefore urged Very Dark Man and other public commentators to distinguish between legitimate criticism of individual wrongdoing and allegations directed at an entire institution. The officer stressed that where anyone possessed information suggesting corruption or other misconduct within the armed forces, such evidence should be submitted to the appropriate authorities for investigation rather than used as a basis for broad accusations. So please, when we make statements that are not founded without any basis, please let's come out with your evidence. And if you have your proof, you table it before the appropriate authorities for proper investigation, she said. The moderator acknowledged the intervention, saying, "Your point is taken." Another military representative subsequently took the microphone and introduced himself as a colonel before also referring to the significance of making allegations before such a large gathering of lawyers. The individual name of the female military officer who delivered the principal rebuttal was not established in the material available. We report on social media clips generally describing her as part of the military delegation or military representatives at the conference. The exchange followed Verydarkman's earlier defense of his controversial inclusion on the NBA panel, because really, why is he there? It is well, the social media activists had told lawyers that he was not invited to teach them law, but to contribute from what he described as his first-hand encounters with insecurity and victims of violent attacks. So really, wow. There's been a lot of debate as to why Verydarkman is invited. I'm not here to teach you the law. I'm here to share an experience, he told the conference. He argued that critics of his participation were overlooking the subject of the session and said insecurity had become particularly relevant to lawyers because members of the judiciary were themselves falling victims to kidnappers. This is not the topic of, if I may, my lord, because a lot of your lords are being kidnapped, he said. VDM cited the reported kidnapping of a judge traveling from Sokoto who, according to his account, was abducted in Kebbi State on July 26 and released about a week later. He also recounted visits to several communities affected by killings and explosions, including Yawata, Angwan, Rukuba in Jos, Bokos, and locations in Borno State, saying those experiences had exposed him directly to the consequences of insecurity. "I've seen blood, I've seen people burnt alive," he told the gathering. Verydarkman also criticized sections of the conventional media, including television stations, accusing them of failing to adequately document the aftermath of bombings and violent attacks. He said that this had created space for people such as himself to visit affected communities and publicize the experience of victims. Well done, Verydarkman. Critics questioned why the NBA invited a controversial social media personality to participate in a major professional conference. VDM responded to that controversy by insisting that his presence was based on experience. Which experience? Rather than professional legal expertise. Okay. The military representative, however, made clear that experiential knowledge did not remove the responsibility to substantiate serious allegations. It is well. My listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.